everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janaire. I am a licensed esthetician as well as an assistant laser practitioner here in the state of Georgia. If you want to continue to follow my journey, make sure you subscribe and then also hit the bell notification. I don't upload on a regular basis, so if you want to know when I do drop a video, just click the bell. I got a couple of requests for a general life update, and then also I got a request for pricing. How much does it cost for me to operate as a solo laser hair removal technician? So first, a couple of updates. I want to say April into May was very rough in general. It affected my business a lot. My TikTok was my biggest resource for lead generation. I had that page for a really long time. I want to say I had it since 2021 or maybe 2020, 2021. I always marketed myself when I was working with companies as a laser hair removal technician. A lot of clients, they would tag me or they would even post their reviews of their laser hair removal experience and they would tag me in it, or people would just recognize my face because they saw it on someone else's page. And so I would get a lot of inquiries through my TikTok. Yes, my email address is posted on the TikTok as well as my website, but a lot of people would still DM me or message me and ask me questions first. And then I would tell them, oh, go ahead and book a consultation on my website, or I'll send them the link or something like that so they can book a consultation. Well, I've been locked out of my TikTok account. I can't get back into it. I've tried every method, and since I can't talk to a person and I'm only talking to a bot, which is frustrating, I can't get back in that account, and I had to basically start a whole new TikTok account. So since May, I really haven't gotten any new consultations just because people are still following that page. They're still commenting and stuff like that. And when I can, I would go be like, hey, follow my new page, or I would send them the website or the link to book a consultation, but I don't have access to the DMs, and that's where a lot of people will reach out to me. So I really haven't had any new consultations since the beginning of May because I haven't been able to get into my TikTok account. Which, like I said, I started a new page and I'm starting all over. So go ahead and follow my new TikTok. I will put it on the screen. So that also let me know I need to find other ways to market outside of TikTok or just social media, because if I were to lose the page or lose access, they're always talking about taking TikTok away. I'm not gonna have that stream or that flow of marketing anyway. So that just let me know that I needed to find another way to put myself out there and market myself. Next, I had to fire a couple of clients. Again, just going through the early stages of business. I'm glad that it's not booming starting out because I have the room to change policies the way I see fit. Because in my mind, when I started, of course, I'm like, this can go like this and this, but actually being in it, you have the space in the room to change certain things. For example, I offer discounts on paid in full, and then I also offer payment plan for clients. But if people were saying, oh, I want to do the package, I was still giving them the package price, even if they were paying monthly. I hope that makes sense. I was still being nice, trying to make it cost effective for the clients. But I realized that some of the clients who were on a payment plan and then still receiving the discounted price for the full package, those clients weren't being consistent with their payments. I had to chase them down for payments and everything like that. So going forward, a couple of those clients, they missed multiple months of payments. I just went on ahead and decided to part ways with them. Even though I have a contract, I decided to let them out of their contract and part ways because at this time, laser hair removal isn't affordable for them even with a payment plan. In lieu of that, I did go ahead and offer or put single session pricing on my website. So those people can still come to me, but they won't receive the discount, and they would just have to pay single session pricing, and they can just come as they need to. Now, their results, they aren't going to be as good as somebody who decided to get a package and who's going to come to consistently because they've already invested their money. A serious person, though, they would still stay on track even though they're paying session by session. Next, or I had to get a job. I started applying for jobs because right now I am making money with the laser hair removal business, but it's only enough to sustain the business at this point in time. It's not enough to sustain the business and pay my bills, and I have blown through my savings. So, would I suggest just quitting your job? No, don't be like me. I would try to keep something, even if it's super part time, keep something until the business is basic paying for itself and then also paying your personal bills as well. It doesn't have to be in the same field, it could be in anything else. But I did get a job to be able to take care of my personal bills as well as pay for the bills of the business. Right now, I went on ahead and picked up a full-time job just because I have the space to do that. Especially, it's still in the beauty industry. Most jobs that I've worked in the beauty industry, I only work 3 or 4 days a week, so it still allows me to put enough time and attention into my business as well as still have a W-2 job, which actually in the end, I was playing around with ChatGPT. It's going to help me with taxes, having a W-2 job, and then also having my own personal business as well. I'm just not going to get hit as hard because I'm having taxes taken out somewhere. And now we are going to get into my monthly costs as operating as a solo esthetician. Now, when I say that I'm solo, I am not 100% solo. So what does that mean? I share a suite with another person. We both wanted to do laser hair removal, but we each have our own independent businesses, if that makes sense. We just share the general space, and we also share the cost of the laser and everything else. So our plan is to eventually have 2 lasers. What we're doing is purchasing the first laser, and then after that, just once that laser is paid off, we're gonna purchase another one. I'm gonna keep one, and then she's gonna keep one. She plans on doing more services outside of laser hair removal, so she's going to take the older machine and I'll take the newer one once everything is paid for and said and done. So as far as monthly expenses, we do rent a suite in a salon suites in Dunwoody. It's a great location because it is across from Perimeter Mall, but it's also expensive. I don't know if we're gonna be staying here after the lease is up. I think we're gonna move to a office building just because the rent here is $300 a week. You can pay monthly, but at the same time, it's just really expensive when there are office buildings and office locations here in the Dunwoody area where your monthly rent is less than half of that. I found a couple of places where it's 600 or less for the same amount of space, the same amount of amenities, but it's more of a doctor space. So I think it would just fit more into what we're looking for as well, instead of being in a salon suite where you're with nail techs and then also hairstylists as well. I think it'll fit more of what we're looking into. Next, the booking site that we're using, a sub booking site from Mindbody. That necessarily wasn't my choice, The person that I'm sharing the space with, she kind of signed us up for the booking. And just hindsight, we probably would have chosen a different booking platform. So, like I said, but it's through Mindbody for smaller businesses and smaller companies, and it's called Booker. So, Booker has been giving us just a lot of complications. It's not really sending out forms the way it should when we book an appointment, or if somebody books an appointment. It's not allowing just the forms to be sent in the way that they should. Also, we have to book the appointments for clients. It's just not necessarily set up to where the clients can just book for themselves, book what time they want, and things like that. Like I said, we are sharing the space, so even though we have our own separate websites and things like that, we still have to have a joint booking site so we can navigate who's here at what time and things like that. I don't have certain days, she doesn't have certain days. We just book around each other and we're here at the same time. If I have a client at 1, she has one at 1:30, we just swap out and we just do it like that. And then the laser. Oh, and Booker is about $300 a month. They're cheaper booking sites. And there are booking sites that allow you to do just as much or more than Booker. And it's just you live and you learn. We just wanted something that would be more medical and more professional. And honestly, we could still get the same things with other booking sites. I'm not an acuity person. I don't necessarily like acuity. Maybe for a hairstylist, but not for the type of business that we have. So I want to look into something else that can still allow us to do the notes in the way that we need to on the back end for a medical aesthetics business, but then also be user friendly for our clients and then just for our needs as well. Now, the biggest cost that we have is for the laser, of course. We have the Candela laser. We purchased the laser directly through Candela because a lot of people ask, how did you get the laser? Where did you get it from? We got it from the manufacturer. And there's other manufacturers probably you can get your laser through. The pricing is going to be different, but the lasers, they aren't cheap. It's like buying a luxury vehicle. The note on the laser is, I want to say it's right under $1,600 a month. And so if you were considering doing laser hair removal on your own, same scenario what we have, you'll be looking at about $3,300 a month. We're both spending $1,700 a month for our business, and that's just basic business. That's not including the consumables like cleaning supplies, table paper, cryogen. So we don't have a Zimmer attachment where where you attach it to the laser and it just blows cold air. We use cans of cryogen as our cooling mechanism. The case of that is about $800 plus tax and shipping. So it's little things like that, but our core base is $1,700 a month. And if you were to multiply that by 2. So I do suggest, if you do want to go solo, get with somebody that does have the same goals as you, because it just works out better cost wise and financially. I know for a fact with my personal bills, I wouldn't be able to afford $3,000 a month on my own. I just wouldn't be able to do that. You already see that I'm getting a job just to sustain the $1,700 a month. And so far, that is about it. If you have any other questions, I can do the full Q&A. You guys would just have to leave your questions in the description box. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram as well as my TikTok and ask me questions anywhere, and I can compile and make a video. I'm also going to try to be a little bit more consistent. It's just a little awkward filming from my phone, but I promised myself that if I'm not consistent, I'm not going to buy a camera. So there we are with that. So once I am a little bit more consistent and I'm posting a little bit more, I'll buy a camera, and then maybe it will motivate me to continue to vlog or give you updates. But thank you so much for the followers that I do have. Love you lots. You can say that you were here first before it was cool to be here. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.